Thomas Keller opened the French Laundry in Napa Valley 25 years ago with an idea that an American-born chef using American ingredients with precise cooking techniques could rival the best meals in Europe, but still be a true American experience.
If I can go back in time 100 years, I would feel at home walking in the kitchen the same way I feel at home today.
Join me for a secret behind-the-scenes look at a day in the life of the French Laundry.
For the gougere, it will change to say Australian black winter truffle fondue.
Here we are in our new kitchen. We've elevated a lot of the tables off the floor by 18 inches so that we don't have to bend over so far, so ergonomically.
Cheers.
Cheers. Everybody feels like this is a foregone conclusion.
Right. No.
There's nothing about this that was a foregone conclusion.
No, and still there isn't. I mean, every day we have to come to work, and do the job.
A meal at the French Laundry begins in the 3-acre culinary garden across the street. The chefs make the daily changing menu around what's available that day.
This is my office. It's a pretty great office. I get to be outside every day and be in beauty. It's about 3 acres, and we're about 2 acres tillable, but we also have several other plots that we grow on. We'll harvest from 6 in the morning until whenever we're done with harvest. They're cooking with it before it even touches a fridge, and that's how we get the flavor of the garden directly to the diners.
Aaron tells us what to cook for dinner. If the carrots are ready, the turnips are ready, and the peas are ready, the turnips and the peas and the carrots are on the menu.
Pea shoots, we have bronze fennel.
It's like the most beautiful shopping list that you can ever ask for. It's like, do you want bachelor's buttons? Do you want marigolds? Do you want tiny, beautiful nasturtium?
Is this nasturtium?
Mm-hmm.
Cilantro.
Yep. So this is cilantro.
They could make a lot more money growing wine grapes on these 3 acres. When Keller's friend, the chef Jonathan Waxman, first told him about a Napa Valley property for sale, Keller was close to 40 years old. He had started as a dishwasher for the restaurant his mom ran when he was a kid and honed his skills as an apprentice in France. Keller had a reputation as a good chef, but he was broke.
I was very poor. I had lost my job at the hotel I was working at. I was peddling olive oil at Gelson's or Bristol Farms. I was the guy standing at the end of the aisle with a little table in front of me and pieces of bread with toothpicks in it and a little cup of olive oil. There was an article in the New York Times, having a dream is hard, living it is harder. It resonated with me, so I cut it out and it sat on my little makeshift desk, and I had people's names and phone numbers, and I started calling. Over 400 people I contacted. Finally accumulated about 51 who actually wrote checks. I mean, I'm so grateful for them, for their confidence in me. To sign your name to that check and give it to this middle-aged guy who had a checkered past.
Yeah, working at Checkers.
Right. We wouldn't be here today.
Interesting that you say this about perseverance and about doing something over and over and over again until it works, because that is what you're known for.
Yeah.
Hello. Keller is intense about raising the professional standards of being a chef.
It's not about my restaurant, it's about our profession. We need to help elevate the standards of our profession. And by elevating the standards of our profession, we're elevating all of our restaurants. Hire the right person, give them the right training. And training's not 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, it goes on for as long as they're here. And then mentor them. And if you do those 3 things correctly, what happens is that person is better than you are. Because if they're not better than you are, then you've done a shitty job, right? And so every one of these young cooks has the opportunity to be better than I am. And I'm really proud to say that. When I was a young cook, in order for me to learn what the guy next to me was doing, I needed to have a sense of urgency. So that when the chef said, oh, we need somebody to take the Saucier's place, I said, I'm ready. I've been watching him, I've been working with him, I know what he's doing, let me take the place. You have to be the person before the job is offered to you.
Well, it's interesting, I saw your copy of Ma Gastronomy back there, And the idea that if you treat something like you own it,
Yeah.
you eventually will.
Right.
Like many restaurants, the French Laundry runs its kitchen using the brigade system, a more than century-old way to ensure things run smoothly.
The chef de parties, which are in blue aprons, we can distinguish the sous chefs or the chef de cuisine by having a white apron on during service. During mise en place or during the prep time, we're all wearing blue aprons. We're trying to always create these efficiencies in our workspace so that people can do their work with unencumbered interference. You know, it's like, can you imagine you're a doctor, you're performing surgery, and all of a sudden somebody needs to come in to get something in your way. You know, it just doesn't really work.
For restaurants that use the brigade system, this precision is necessary to serve guests at the level everyone expects. And the French Laundry is a place diners dream about for years before eating here.
Our guests have very high expectations, and we have to deliver every night. We talk about it all the time. It's the Super Bowl, every day.
In the past 25 years, American expectations of cuisine have changed a lot, right?
Many times.
Many times, right, exactly,
Many
exactly. Today, we want picture-perfect food and service and to feel as comfortable as home.
A really, really big thing that we always do for every single guest is coffee and donuts.
Did somebody draw this on here?
It's a happy face because it makes us happy.
How can you deliver that to every table when every table has a different idea of what is comfortable? The servers treat it with equal seriousness.
It's a busy night. We're doing 121. We have 13 tables in by 5:30 for 11 turns. A lot of large tables, as you can see, so please be mindful when we're walking through the dining room.
First course is going to be a garden vegetable crudité with cherry bell radishes, fennel bulb, crispy chickpea panisse, and pea tendrils. Then, as Angela said, the courtyard's going to see wagon. Service!
Did he say the morels were stuck with morels?
This is the entire log of what's going to happen tonight. The number of guests that are coming in at different times, the number of people at the table, the total number. You have, the number of birthdays, the number of anniversaries.
Thomas Keller has opened other restaurants since the French Laundry, most famously Per Se in New York City.
And of course, we have Per Se here. This idea of connectivity and this idea of sharing. It's about knowing that Corey and Daniel and the entire team realize that they are part of a bigger team. They're part of a bigger family. And so that's just a wonderful thing. And on their pass, you can see Mr. Furman. He's been there since the day we opened.
There's a little bit of showboating. If I have a nice dish, I show them the dish.
It's sibling rivalry.
Oh, for sure.
You have the pastry department on this side, and then the garde manger who does all of the cold first courses or second courses. So that happens here.
It's so beautiful, and we get to see outside. There's not very many kitchens where you get to look out the window. We can actually have a lot of collaboration with the Savory team. We don't want to be on our own little island. So just the fact that we get to see each other, we get to work in the same kitchen, is super collaborative.
For the French Laundry's 20th anniversary, Keller decided to create a new kitchen and wine cellar modeled on the Louvre Pyramid in Paris. Did you go through the same kind of consternation that some people had when the Louvre was first revealed?
And there are still days I still go through this moment of, I don't know if it's buyer's remorse or...
No. I think it's fantastic. Oh, it's beautiful. How much do you think this wall is worth? Come on, Eric.
I don't know.
Come
know. They might be able to get you a down payment on a condo in Queens.
Okay. These days, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the luxury items should be used in quantities. What's the point? What's the point, right? If you're going to use truffles, use them.
Who could ever replace Thomas Keller at the French Laundry? He's asking the same thing.
This restaurant not just needs to live on, but it needs to thrive. It needs to, be taken over by, a young chef or a young chef maitre d', young general manager, whoever, that has the same types of visions, the same types of values, the same types of ambitions. These are representing my core values, and I hope, if you work for me, that you can embrace them as well. But there's some on there that you may have difference with, and maybe there's another value that's more important to you.
Thanks, Zach.
What we do running a restaurant is not that hard. Right? Guest call, you get a reservation. If you can just reduce it down to the fundamentals of you're welcoming somebody into our home, give them a hug.
You made Mama happy, you make everybody happy. I will give you a hug for that.
I'm getting older, so trying to make sure that the younger generations understand where these people that changed our lives.
Yes.
Right? And make sure that we have that sense of respect and understanding of what Jean-Louis Paladin did, what Michel Richard did. Delicious. That is the perfect word that I want to hear when someone eats the food.
Delicious.
Not extraordinary, not amazing. I just want, that was really delicious.